This episode is about plants, so I'm going to give you a plant-related Doctor Who joke. What doctor likes vegetables the most? Paul Vegan. Copyright that joke, you're not allowed to use it, and if you do, 500 quid, thanks. Hi guys, and welcome back to this thing, which is actually still going. I know, shock horror. After A-levels are done in college, I'm free, and I finally got motivation back to actually do something. And what better thing to do than this little thing? I mean, I was going to wait until someone else done a video on this channel, but obviously that's not happening, guys. Sort it out. So yeah, without further ado, we all know why we're here. Let's delve straight into, let me get the DVD, the next segment of the Trial of a Time Lord series, Terror of the Vervoids. Now, we pick up straight off from Mind Warp, where the Time Lords have killed Perry, and understandably, the Doctor's a bit bummed out. But he can't mourn for long, because it's his turn to produce the case. And what better case to produce than one from the future? Introduced to this sort of hotel cruise liner ship setting, where the Doctor explains there's a murder mystery type thing about to go down. It's like that episode of Unicorn and the Wasp, but in space, less Agatha Crispy. Yes, I love Agatha Crispy bacon. Now, it's clearly established in the first couple of minutes that everybody on this ship is a complete and utter arsehole. And once we get all the introductions out of the way, we are introduced to Mel, a fitness guru, and it is this point where I relate to Six heavily. I hate fitness, so does he. Just for this, he might be my favourite Doctor now. Carrot juice. Oh, that introduction. If you want to hear about random carrot juice, go and watch my video for Who Addicts Reviews Classic Week. Carrot juice. Now, I think this point is a really good arc for character development, as we find out a vital bit of information here. Janet makes everyone delicious coffee.
You make delicious coffee, Janet.
We have a mystery distress call going down, but nobody exactly knows who it is. The mystery thickens and the plot starts. The Doctor and Mel go to investigate, and some more stuff happens and get introduced to people. It all goes down until Mel goes to the gym, where a mystery man tampers with the settings. If only the camera panned faster, damn it. Now, I really like Mel. Her introduction is unique as we see her adventures with the Doctor after they've actually met. And a key thing, which writers nowadays really need to get round, she's independent without being sarcastic or sassy. She doesn't only have a good chemistry with the Doctor, but she also takes her own lead if she wants, which is a brilliant companion thing. I mean, it sounds like the generic formula of companion making nowadays, but it feels like here it's done right. And we continue the little plot which was developed earlier on in episodes. Evidence is being tampered with, and the Vale Yard is getting all defensive. Like, that's not suspicious at all. Anyway, we find these pod things, which is in the lower levels of the ship, which has been established earlier, and we go to investigate what it is. And this cliffhanger is probably my favourite of the classic series that I've seen so far. It is absolutely horrific, with the lighting and everything, even the scream, the high-pitched scream, and, fun fact, Mel's scream in this episode, the pitch was actually altered so it would actually go into the ending theme. So it's like, ow, bottle-a-bum, bottle-a-bum, bottle-a-bum. Mel's taken in for questioning, as you'd probably expect, because she's the only one round when this guy's been electrocuted, like it weren't the giant pods that done it. And the Doctor's reaction to "you've got a killer on board" is so casual, it's hilarious. Now, we have some people who look like they belong in the background of the Moss Eisley Cantina, up to no good, and they're inspecting these pod things which are in the electrocutey bit. And finally, we see the pods hatch, and you can tell there's an imminent danger present, which is actually kind of threatening for, you know, how threats of giant vegetable pods go. Now, we have this old scientist cow, which is actually behind the pods, and she's claiming the Doctor's a thief for stealing seeds. Now, this episode is all about reactions, because the music after "Now What Have You Landed Us In" with the Doctor's reaction makes it feel like a Mr. Bean sketch more than a Doctor Who episode.
You landed us in.
An old scientist just wastes police time by saying that the Doctor's a thief, but she knows he's not a thief. Ah, no, you could get seriously done for that these days. Oh, blimey, The Last of Us can move over with this 2900s video game graphics virtual reality. Oh! Moss Eisley people say the route is bringing the ship closer to a black hole, and they go on a political rant about how humans are stripping their planet bare because of exposition reasons, you know. Oh yes, dramatic deaths is what I live for. The dead bloke turns out to be the guy with the beard who actually sent the distress call in the first place. The Doctor and Mel go to investigate, But meanwhile, the Vervoids go tiptoeing about and killing an old dude who has a brilliant dying sound.
I've brought you a warm drink, sir.
For God's sake, can a man masturbate in peace around here? Now, I'm not sure it doesn't affect the story, but I'm pretty sure you can get fined for setting off a fire alarm when there's not a fire. Now, there's an isolation room that people have been wandering in and out of, and we finally go into it to discover the mystery. What is it? Is it a Vervoid? Is it something? Oh God, Jesus Christ, what? Turns out whatever the hell that is a lab assistant, and they're trying to cure her case of what the shit-itis. Mel goes to investigate whatever happened to the old bloke because some psycho shower murders have seemed to have gone on, and what the hell is in that vent? I don't believe it! Now, we get our first proper look at the Vervoids who are taking all the people. Oh, hang on. There we go. We want this channel to be family friendly. No over-18 stuff here. Actually, they look pretty decent. I mean, you can tell they're men in suits, but they still look decent with a load of detail gone into it, even if they do look a bit weird. I mean, what is this music? It doesn't fit at all. I mean, I know it's all quirky and 80s, but come on. Now, the bad guys actually, you know, planted the Vervoids. They consist of an old scientist woman, Raymond Noodlehair, and Lenin. And they're all going about deciding if what they're doing is wrong, but Raymond Noodlehair is like, lol, nope. Now, all the while Mel was about to be incinerated, the Doctor's just listening to our favourite plant monsters plotting, as you do openly over a microphone unit. Just in the nick of time, the Doctor stops Mel from dying, and the bloke who's actually in charge of the incineration just stands there like, oh, lope, like it's no big deal that someone was about to die. Now, we see this footage of the Doctor with an axe standing over, I think, what is supposed to be the communications device, but this might be evidence being tampered again, and the Doctor didn't do it, because why would he? The Valeyard is up to no good, the little shit. I think Lenin murders the old scientist woman, I think, then he just runs off. I mean, the Doctor's just as confused as I am, to be honest.
First things first.
I'll eat your brains and I'm a star rocking gold teeth and fangs. Lenin is out on a killing spree and he takes over the ship's bridge and is driving it into a black hole. Dun, dun, dun. Now we are finally on to the final part, and the Vervoids are filling the bridge with some sort of poisonous gas that knocks Lenin out for the count. Hurrah, Vervoids, you lads! The Moss Easley crew come and save the day by steering the ship away. Good for the Moss Easleys. Oh, but just as you think they were good guys, the Moss Easleys and the security man hijack the ship, and yet another plot twist. More plot twists than the Spaghetti Junction here. Now, water splashes on the Moss Easley hijackers, and that seems to paralyse them, because these guys don't like water, apparently, but just go with it, they're aliens. Now, the Vervoid kills the patient in isolation ward with some conveniently ominous lighting. Ooh, look at that red. What am I watching here, a Kubrick film? Now, the hostage plot is over considerably quickly, and it's probably just starting to span the length of the script as the security man just runs away. Now, Raymond Noodlehair Man turns out to be the killer of everyone and plans to use the Vervoids as slaves, and they're not too happy about that, and they just go on a rampage. Now, basically, the Doctor's like, no, we can't let the Vervoids carry on, so I'm not too sure if it's a fictional element or not, but what he does, he just makes it really bright and excels their aging process so they turn into autumn. Basically, wow. After a long, complicated planning, it just turns bright, there's a load of sunlight, and the leaves of the Vervoids wilt and die, and literally they're just turned into ash. So he returns to the trial, and the Doctor's like, see that, you Time Lord bitches? I just saved the whole of humanity. But the Valeyard is having none of it, because he charges the Doctor for mass genocide, even though it's just plants. Nobody's kicking up a fuss about cutting down the Amazon. Why aren't we kicking up a fuss about Vervoids? Maybe Time Lords just like plants a lot. This episode ends with the Doctor going to be executed, or sentenced to be executed, but still, giant plot point. Now, I've finally gone through enough episodes to actually rank them in a list so far, so let's go. So far, at the top of my list is The Mysterious Planet. While it wasn't the best episode, it was still enjoyable. It was a nice introduction, and I really like it. Following that, we have Terror of the Vervoids. This one, it's actually a nice little, I'd say it's a fun episode. A lot of people die in it, including old men. But it's nice and enjoyable, easy to follow. I don't know what the overall, opinion on Mel is, because I know there are loads of companions that the majority love, and there's those that the majority hate. But I love her introduction. It's actually really unique, and her character is evident. I just like being thrown in a character the Doctor seems really to know quite well. More unique introductions, characters to companions, please. That would be very nice. The Vervoids, even though they're plants, they're nothing else, they are plants. Now, the idea of sentient vegetable life isn't exactly unique, but their design is pretty good. I mean, they might look a bit silly with the giant leaf fingers, but I still like I like them. I like the Vervs. Love the Vervs. I think the way they're defeated is pretty creative, even though if it is just flashing lights, it's plausible. And of course, that is Mind Warp at the last. Nothing wrong with Mind Warp. I love the episode with Briar and Blessed and everything, but it's just the weaker of this lot. But let me go on to the ultimate foe, which I believe is the Sixth Doctor's last proper story. Sad times on TV, of course. Loads of Big Finish. But yeah, I'm going to give this episode, the Terror of the Vervoids, a plant out of 10, and I definitely wouldn't Vervoid it again. I don't know why I said again, that was a good pun ruined. But yeah, hopefully, next one, enjoy the ultimate foe coming soon. But until then, have a good time. And hopefully there are some more videos on this channel, guys. That's a challenge. Make something, please.